Hi, this is Emma from Unique Phoenix, and this is the Real Raw Separation series. This is part 8, Communication is Key. Now, for many of you who've been watching each of these, you'll know my journey through separation, and I separated mid last year. And the reason that my ex and I have been able to communicate and to have the success and to also have the conscious separation process is that we have really worked on our communication and the best way that we want to communicate to each other and what works well for everybody. So I want to get functional about this, take the emotion out of it today, and help you build a solid, simple communication approach. So there are 3 basic forms of communication: in person, on the phone, and email and text. Now, choose which one works best for you. For my ex and I, we are now able to use all 3 really well, but for really important communications like care of children, where they're going to be, dates, just even some things like how parenting, what's happening with each child when they're with one another, in person and over the phone works best for us, because we're able to communicate a lot more quickly and we're able to really hear and, really get a feel for each other about where we're coming from. And also, some of the messages don't get lost in translation, and they still can with SMS. So you can also think about communication like this. Just break it down a little bit more. Which one sounds more like you? In person, kinesthetic. And this is where you like an action, to see the person, touch, feel, and even, get like an energy from their voice and that kind of thing. Then there's the phone, where it's auditory. We're taking away all the cues of you reading their face, the different actions that they can, and there's no sort of touching feeling, but you can hear their voice. And it also means for you particularly that you get to speak, and you get to speak without any visual cue. And the third one is visual, which is written communication, because it is quite visual. There's no sounds around, there's nothing else. It's just what you're reading on paper. So if you're able to read something and read it in a way that doesn't have the emotion in it, then great, that can work best for you. How do you set it up? Well, like anything in life, have a play around with it. Work with all 3 to see what works best for you. And it could just be you're discovering your best way of communicating as well. So it's okay to go through that. Now, if you do notice that you get to the bitter place really quickly when it's in person or on the phone, then probably best to start with written and start with SMS, so that you can actually keep the communication going without having that tug of war that goes on in the bitterness. However, conversations via email and SMS can get just as messy via in person and on the phone as well. So a great way is to pause. Take a pause, to sit back, and a really great way to pause, ask questions. What did you mean by that? I'm understanding what you're saying as this. Is that what you meant? Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. It will calm things down, and it will absolutely open up the communication and take a little bit of the mess out of it. Sometimes all the mess. It is so fantastic for your kids to see you fail at this just as much as it is to succeed. They're learning through you all the time. And it's important for you to be open and honest that, that communication didn't really work for us. In my case, Dad and I are going to try this. So there've been moments where there's been a complete fail, and they've actually seen a little bit of the mess, and I've been able to say, that's because I took something the wrong way. There was a particular day that I did get an SMS from my ex, and actually it was a lovely SMS, and what I chose to do was take it in a particular way. We were in the bitter place, and I chose to take it in a really the wrong way. And so I was able to explain that to the kids. I did that. I took it the wrong way. I probably needed to ask a bit more questions about that. And so I was able to talk them through, which is great. The other side of that is you can dazzle them with how wonderfully you're communicating. And I love seeing the shock and awe on their faces when I know stuff that has gone on when they're with their dad, and I can ask questions around it, or they go to say something and, you know, they can see on my face that I know about it. And it's not necessarily, you know, it might be something not so great that's happened, some behavior from them or whatever occurred, but it's amazing to see their faces, even if it's bad stuff, even if it's shit. They're still so impressed that you two are communicating. And, you know, they also recognize they can't hide in there either, that, you know, they've got to be honest about what's going on in each house as well. So, as I said before, your kids are learning from you all the time. So, figure out the best form, play around with it, what's best for you, and teach your kids along the way that it's okay to play around with this different communication as well. If you are going through this and want some help with this communication, then and need extra support with your family, then stay with me now and you can find out how to get connected. Hi, this is Emma. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to take the next steps with me and connect with me further, there are a few ways to do it. Firstly, my website. Second, you can find me on Facebook through my business page, Unique Phoenix. There's lots of free content and inspiring ideas. And you can like and share this clip. Please remember, I'm here to support you and help you ignite the spark that is within you right now. There is hope. Change is possible. And this is your life to live your way. Enjoy your day, always. Your way, your life.